Welcome to the Basics of Virtual Assistants podcast, your go-to destination for all things virtual assistant. I'm your host, Paul, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have you join us today. Just 4 short years ago, I took the leap into the world of virtual assistants, and let me tell you, I have never looked back. Now it's my turn to help you take the same exciting path. As we explore this world together, I'll be sharing my experiences, insight, and all the valuable lessons I've learned along the way. So get ready to explore the world of virtual assistants, uncover its limitless potential, and let me guide you on your path to becoming a successful virtual assistant. Your transformation into a skilled virtual assistant starts right here, right now. Let's get started. Welcome to the 10th episode. I'm feeling pretty happy to be getting the 10th episode out. The podcast is a huge goal for me, and to have got 10 episodes out is pretty amazing. I cannot wait until I'm saying 100 episodes or 200 episodes. It's just so exciting. So this episode is the final part in my pricing series. So if you haven't listened to part 1 and 2, which is episode 8 and 9, you can jump over and listen to those now. In this episode, we are talking about a pricing topic I feel isn't talked about enough in the VA community, and that is when and how to change your prices. I think partially people think talking about increasing your income is a bit of a taboo topic, and partially because so many VA coaches or influencers want you to think they're making huge money from day dot. I'm not saying some of them weren't, but I think in a lot of cases they're worried about backlash from others if they say they weren't killing it from day one. Either way, it needs to be talked about, and so today that is what we are chatting about. Now, before we get any further, I want you to know that you can come and chat with me on this topic or any virtual assistant topic on Instagram in the DMs or over in my Facebook group for virtual assistants called Basics for VAs. So please come chat if you have any questions. When should you be increasing your prices? I look at this in 2 ways. The first being that you should slightly increase your prices with every new client that you take on. And secondly, that you should be increasing your rate at least yearly for your clients to reflect your growth as a virtual assistant and your skill set. Let's start with every client. When you are first starting out as a VA, I recommend increasing your prices slightly for every client, especially as your skill sets and abilities grow. I used to increase my price by $1 or 2 each new client. This worked really well for me as I started on a ridiculously low rate, as I just had no idea what I should be charging and no confidence in myself to be charging the big dollars. If you increase your rate with each new client, then you are showing yourself and your clients you're worth working with. It also allows you to grow your income as you grow your business. Now, on to changing your prices yearly. I find reassessing my prices each year is a great way to get older clients closer to the rate of new clients are paying. It's also a great time to reflect on where I'm heading with my business in terms of income and growth. So each year I assess all my clients and their rates and adjust accordingly. This also works if you are using retainers or packages as well. You should be increasing them at the very least once a year. You want your income to reflect the type of work you're producing and the hours you are putting in. The hardest part about adjusting your prices is discussing this with clients. I've done this several times now over my time as a VA, and I can assure you that it does get easier. In the beginning, I worried myself sick about these types of discussions. Now I don't worry as much. The first piece of advice is to write an email and let them know you'll be changing your prices. I like to leave about 2 weeks between my email and when the price is increasing. Also, consider when their next payment is due and make sure to let them know you are changing prices as of the next payment. This allows time for discussions with my clients before the change happens, because undoubtedly your clients are going to want to have a chat about it, or there might be some back and forth. So it's really important to allow time when you're communicating with your clients and when you'll be changing your prices. The second piece of advice is when you're writing your email, make it clear and concise. Try not to write things like "if possible" or "I'm thinking of." This allows your clients to think that it is up for discussion and they are more likely to question you on the price change. Now, it is possible that some clients will be unhappy with the increase in pricing, and you have 2 options. If they're a client that you love, you can keep them on at their current price, or you can stand firm and possibly have the client move on. For me personally, the mindset that I use when it comes to clients moving on is, if a client is not willing to meet me at a rate that is reasonable for me and my work, then they're probably not the type of client I want. And if I were to keep this client on, then that doesn't allow room for me to take on new clients who are willing to pay my price and are probably more likely the type of client I want to be working with long term. As I say in every episode, it is important that you do what suits you and your clients best. Make sure that when you are looking at this and thinking about changing your prices and taking the advice that I've shared, that you are doing what's best for you, your client, and your business and how you want it to grow. Maybe keeping all your clients on at their current rate is better for you than increasing your rate and possibly losing those clients. That's only something you can decide. Make sure that you're really taking in all the factors and all the possible outcomes before making the decision. That brings us to the end of the episode. I hope that it has given you insight on when to change your prices. It's really important to be regularly assessing your prices and ensure that you are getting paid accordingly for your work. Now, don't forget to tune in for next week's episode. I'm talking all about portfolios, what to include, how to set them up, all of the information you need to get your portfolio set up and ready to be sent out to clients.